Hey, tea sippers. Hey, tea sippers. Go. Hey, tea sippers. What's happening? What's popping? What's happening? What it do? Baby, a lot has been going on today, and I do mean a lot. What's his number? Doe 174. Ooh, he almost reminded me of Clinton. I didn't have no relations with that woman, that lady. And 1 minute he don't know her, 1 minute he don't have nothing to do with it, and 1 minute, he can tell everybody who been on Epstein's island. And after today's conference, I've been hearing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. He got vein problems in his hand. That's why he got to wear makeup on his hand. Ooh, what was that cake number back in the day? I know he got that out his mama's old chest. You know how they used to have all that old stuff, memorabilia of your mama, whatever color. Hey, Crystal, whatever color, whatever number, Revlon, or Cody, 251 was the color that she used to cake on her face, baby, because that looked every bit of some paste. Yeah. And I'm glad I was able to listen to a specialist, a heart specialist, cardiovascular professional who said, yeah, he has heart issues. That's why them ankles look like the elephant trunk. Yeah. I'm ready for somebody to say he got some slight, dementia or something. Because he said, pal, he don't know who hired him, who co-signed him. He said he came from Biden. And then somebody had to play it. Who recommended him? Or you said he can't highly recommend it. You said it was a pleasure. You said it. He wasn't a leftover. I can't. Oh, I can't. I can't. So now I'm hearing, because I think pressure on the other side yesterday came in thinking that she really got let go because of, I'm talking about Comey. Because of Diddy. Don't flatter yourself. Diddy done fell to the wayside, ain't he? Who? Oh, okay. Yeah, Diddy. Yeah. He better go get some rehab while all of this kerfuffle is going on right now. You know what I mean?
Have you ever seen the magic glass?
You know what I mean? He better go and do what he need to do since our eyes is off of him right now. Because if y'all really think that Trump ordered Comey, Maurene Comey, fired because of Diddy, y'all in for a rude awakening. He don't give two rub nickels on the bottom of his funky feet about Diddy right now. He don't give a rat's ass about what Diddy got going on. And I know Diddy think he is the beginning and the end, but the problem with that is so does Trump. And the problem with that for Diddy right now, a Trump don't want to be where he is. He close to trees and he close to a whole bunch. You know, this is just my opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only at this current time. But how I feel right now, he is the enemy of the state. He is the enemy of the United States. That's just my opinion. He is, when he took his oath, it took me, oh, I need to go get that other file. It took me to listen to Whoopi, like a whoopee cushion on TV. Whoopi. It took Whoopi to play that back. Pause. Run that back. 2 times. I need to get him, run that back 2 times. Trump 2 times. 2 times 2. That you took a whole oath. You lied. You put your hand on the Bible. And lied. You lied and said that you was for the people and the Constitution. Hi, Francis. And here you are against them both. But see, a lot of people don't forgot your first go around. You made some deals with Putin. And if memory serves me correctly, I think I was plotting against China. There was something going on with China. And you pulled a stunt with China. And he sent your ass back with a little something. And then we all got sick. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that? My bad. Y'all come in, hitting the like button, please. Yeah, you was over there fooling with China. Making fun of them folks and stuff. Because I remember trying to talk like them. And Scooter said, please don't do that. And he touched you on, he touched you and sent you right on back with it. And then it grew from there. And then you came back talking like you ain't never in your life heard of no flu. You ain't heard of no pandemic. You ain't heard of none of that before. As if that was the first time you had heard it. And I did some research and found out back then that your pawpaw, big paw, big paw, that's how he passed with the swine flu pandemic. I said, you lying. You lying to me. This ain't the first time he done heard nothing like that before. Why am I hearing myself? I said, he playing in our face. This big old Jack Atlanta playing in our face. He know good and dang well what the pandemic is. Because his big paw passed away from that. Or was he just so self-absorbed even back then that he don't even know his roots? If it ain't about him, he don't know nothing about it. If it ain't about him and his daddy, he don't know nothing about it. Because all he could say about his mama is that she dressed nice. I said, what? You can't say she was loving or caring. You can't say she was a nurturer. You can't say she made sure that you ate well. She always cooked. And you can't say nothing other than she was well put together. A boy talking about his mama. I said, baby, something ain't right with that picture. Mm-mm. 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 A boy and his mama. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Something ain't right with that picture. Then I started doing a little bit more research. A little bit more research. And a little bit more research. Miss Know-It-All, I know good and dang well you ain't talking about me, baby, as much money I spend on my makeup. I know good and damn well you ain't talking about me. Mm-mm. 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 My makeup has names on it, baby, you ain't never seen before. So I'm gonna let you make it. Oh, no, she couldn't be talking about me, boo. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You ain't even on my level. You ain't even on my level. Mm-mm. You are not. You too basic for me. Basic. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Child, please. Bye. Poof. Be gone. See, that's why I hate entertaining, because see, I snap real bougie on you, boo-boo. Real bougie on you. Okay. Okay, and I'm on mine. I'm on my platform. No, I sure will not. Mm-mm. Thank you, Superman. These Trump supporters coming in mad because I'm talking about they old mangy elephant foot ass hero. Talking about makeup. You need to be worried about the makeup on the back of his hand. That's what you do. That's what's cheap and caked all up. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So go on with that, boo-boo. Go on. And what's your name? Hold on before I remove you. Hold on. Did I get you? I sure dang. What's your name? She got you. Fernandez. Boo, he don't even like you. I know good and damn well you ain't talking. Fernandez. Gonzalez Rodriguez. I know good and damn well you ain't talking. And he's sending all your folk back over there. Boy, hush. Shh. You look slow. Hi, Martin. I care. You care. That's why you over here. That's why you over here. You care. Because if not, you would not be entertaining me. I didn't go over there where you at. You came to me. You couldn't help yourself. Yeah, they trolls. I didn't put it up there where they had to, where I had to. So I'm not finna work Krista to there. So let me go on over here and minimize it. Let me handle that. let me clip them and shut them up real quick. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let me fix that. Let me make you have to subscribe or pay to play. Like your president. Woo! Give you the big eyes. Woo! Huh? That's why he running scared. He running scared. With his scary ass. That's why him running scared. With his scary ass. They gonna find me out. They gonna find out that I'm a loser like my daddy said I was. My daddy said I wasn't gonna amount to shit. And they gonna figure out that I ain't shit. Woo! Yep. We gonna find out you ain't shit. How you like me now? Ugh. Yeah, so like I was saying, before I was rudely interrupted. Why he over there being a cookie monster and shit. Taking folks' babies. Cookies. Scared. Running scared. Scared people gonna find out who he really is. Well, now, y'all, we been knowing who he was. You know, he was just in there because he was bold enough to get in there and act like he knew something. They knew good and damn well he ain't know nothing. They was saying, we don't need for you to know nothing. DT, just be the face and let us do the work. Until he got too smart in the mouth. He got full of himself. That's the part his mama really didn't like about it. He was too full of himself. Because, again, like I was saying before they tried to shut me up, what boy don't have some type, even when the mama be wrong, them boys will find something to say good about their mama. And typically, that's how the girls are about their daddies. What all this clown could say is that she was well put together. She dressed nice. Well, tell us why she left her country and came over to the U.S. and became an immigrant. Yeah, where was she running from? Tell us. We would love to know. Since you think that the citizenship is for the original people who were born here. And your mama wasn't, nor your daddy. So where was she running from? Because she left her country to come over here to be a maid. See, I was poking fun yesterday, and I was talking like, what's her name, Seeley? Miss Seeley? Sophia. Sophia. From The Color Purple. When that lady said, you want to be my maid? You want to be my maid? Miss Millie. And she said, hell no. Yeah, but, I'll go back to your mama. She left her country. Why? She left her country to come over to the U.S. to be a maid. Where was she running from, DT? I mean, we just want to know. Can you entertain us? Why was your mama running? That she crossed the border illegally and became an illegal citizen? I mean, I'm only asking right now because you have a problem with illegal immigrants coming over here illegally. Where was she running from? She left there to come over here to be a maid? Clean up folk houses and shit? Your mama? You know, a long time ago, they said that you started out a Democrat and switched. Folk don't like talking about that. Because a lot of these people don't know that. They ain't old enough. You don't like talking about your mom and dad and them used to be dirt poor, do you? Because you want people to think that you were royal. Yeah. Just like you don't like folks to really know that Trump is a made-up name. That ain't your real last name. So that's why when people try to do research on your lineage and shit, sometimes people get stuck. Because you're not from around these parts. Your mama and them. I want to know what she was running from. Because she raised the criminal. She raised the apist. Who touched him? Oh, you don't want to talk about that. You don't want to talk about that, don't you? You don't want to talk about why you think it's okay to always touch on folk. You know, because you got money. They get that entitles. You, baby, when I tell you, you and Diddy sound so much alike. I'm trying to figure out who wrote the handbook. Because all of y'all patterns are the same. It's the same. I shut them right on up, didn't I, Crystal? Didn't I, y'all? I shut it down, didn't I? What you got to say now, Maurene? Huh? What you got to say now? Huh? Where y'all at? Yeah. Yeah, don't be mad at me. Because y'all in love with a PDF file. Alert. Don't be mad at me for calling it out. Y'all ought to be happy. I mean, majority of y'all folk family members corner more than y'all are. Y'all don't care nothing about what they done been through here, because some of y'all did it to your family members. You that dirty old nasty ass uncle or something. But anyway, I came over here just to really talk about who Comey was really fired for, because people really, and I understand the people on the Diddy stuff, they really want it to be really about Diddy, baby. When I tell you, this is far more important to Trump than Diddy. This didn't have shit to do with Diddy. She just so happened to be a connector, and that's what I was trying to explain last night. Because the Miami federal lawsuit was coming. And it was going to be like a hurricane. It was finna flood it down. It was finna blow the roof. The roof is on fire. You don't need no water. Let them go burn. It was finna burn it down, baby. And I still hope it still is done. It just won't be done with her, because she has some first-hand knowledge. She has some past, present, and future. When this stuff started leaking from way back in the day, when she was probably a little girl. Where is it coming from? Who was a part of that takedown back then? Oh, she gotta go. It has shit to do with Diddy. Diddy's involved now. Don't misunderstand me. He's involved in some of the tricks that they played in Diddy trial with the jury and the deliberation, and we deadlocked. Ain't nothing we gonna be able to do about it. Go home next day. And oh, please don't let me forget, it was one on both sides that wasn't budging. Then they go home, come back. Oh, yeah, we good. Oh, we agree. When did y'all agree? Last night over the phone? You got some phone calls. You got some knocks on your door. What happened? How did y'all become equal in the mind? Y'all didn't discuss it when you went home, did you? Because that was against the judge's directions. So when did y'all talk that through? Because first thing that morning, y'all was good. Y'all had a meeting of the minds. So who got the knock at their door? Who got the payout? That sounds to me just like it did when they wanted that video. And they kept telling KK, nope, you got to go through the proper protocol. Police. And then or if not, get you a subpoena. The man had to tell him that 4 or 5 times. Showed up on his job. Called him on the phone that he didn't know how they got it. You reckon 1 or 2 of them jurors got a phone call on the phone that they wondering how these people get my number? And it was when they called him on that private number that he started saying, oh, shit. These people can find you like that? Hell, I might as well. 50K? Then he became the angel. He went from, I can destroy you, to now you my angel. Love like ours is heaven sent. Each day all day to... Yeah, started singing, you my angel. Nita Baker. He in love with you. Reckon them jurors. Yeah. So I tried to explain to somebody that ain't you know that ain't why that ain't why she got fired. They know that they did some trickery with that. Now maybe the trickery was all a part of it because they know Miami was coming. They know Miami was coming. Just like they knew they was going to shut down Epstein. So, I believe that too many people had the old paperwork that already exposed the list. And see what they want to do now. They want to act like there's not a list. There's just documentation. So when they decide to say, okay, we got to give them something, but we can't give them a list. So we can hand pick what we give them. So when I found that guy yesterday who read the paperwork, what it was, the freedom of press, he went the legal way to get the paperwork, the copies. And it shows where, oh, what's her name? Pam. sent that letter saying that she only received 200 pieces of paper. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Was y'all over there? Oh, I done nipped them. They can't talk. She only got 200 pages of the logs, transportation, and the client's list and some more paperwork. But somebody had tipped her off that there was supposed to be thousands of pages. But they only sent her 200 pages. So even who only sent her 200 pages? She was saying the FBI, you know, it was supposed to be thousands of pages. So she acknowledged it. I mean, that there is a list. But anyway, so they are trying to, especially Harvey on TMZ, trying to say there's not a list. Stop that. Stop lying. Stop lying in our face. We know there's a list. I keep saying he is documented on the list of 174. If there's not a list, there will be no numbers. Lord, I cannot stand when people just, you know, play you slow. Oh my God. Who has a number and you're not a part of a list? What does the number go to? I mean, so you stand because the list is not, they named it, he got him under Doe's, you know, like Jane Doe, John Doe, or whatever, Doe. Doe, Re, Mi, Fa, yeah, Doe. 174. So that means that in that paperwork of thousands of pages that they have, there is a matchup where they were able to match up who Doe 174 is. If there's not a client list, how would you know who Doe 174 is? Duh. I mean, am I tripping? If there, I mean, what are you lining that up with? How do you know DOE 174 is Donald Dirty Diaper Trump? Couldn't that just be let's see, Bill Clinton? Since you made it clear Bill was on Predator's Island. You understand? If there wasn't a list to match up who DOE 174 is, hell, DOE 174 could have been Bill Clinton, but it wasn't. It was you, DT. DT, are you with me? He said, oh yeah, we have a sex angle. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. Wasn't it a sex party? I don't know why they play with me, y'all. I'm only gonna play slow for a little bit. I can't do that long. Ooh, that's a whole headache trying to play slow for a long period of time. I just cannot. Because y'all know I don't do with the lies. So if I play slow too long, I'm lying. Because I got a whole bunch of sense. If you got a number to identify you, you are a part of a list. Period. So please stop saying it's not a list. And the documentation from the Department of Justice, it says client list. So when I know who y'all pappy is, he want to play dumb in people's face. I get it. He do it all the time. He'll switch it. He'll make a U-turn. He'll cut that cut that and spin that round real quick. And by the time they let go of that steering wheel, it's just moving by itself because he done. He'll make a quick U-turn real quick. It's like, how you up here saying, why y'all so concerned about Epstein? Hell, wasn't you just concerned about it? Huh? What done happened? So now you trying to act like y'all wasn't ever concerned about it? Is that what y'all doing on the code? And you really got some people falling behind that. I'm going to call it what it is, y'all. That's that bipolar shit. I don't know how to process that, baby. How you just going and then you just going to flip the script like, y'all ought to be shaming yourself. Being this concerned about it. Didn't you make us concerned about it? Who name, come on y'all, who name wasn't on it or who name was on it? He already know his name was on it. I know he ain't got no dementia like that, Alzheimer's or nothing like that, where he didn't remember his name was on that paper all through it. That he didn't remember. I don't want to believe that. Is that why they taking him to the doctor on the code? I'm going to let y'all hear it in a minute, but is that why he going to the doctor? Or is that why he getting that checkup? DT does not want people to ask him. He is a narcissist to the 10th power. See, I wouldn't have ever been able to entertain that type of liar. Oh, my God. Now, I know some habituals. I ain't gonna even lie. I know some that can make up some stories on your ass in a minute and will believe they lie. That's why I don't tolerate liars. I'm not going to entertain it. I'm not. But DT, I would have to put a sign up in his face every time he lying and say, stop lying. You a lie and the truth ain't in you. A liar will not tarry in the eyesight of the Lord. Liar, I would have up something. Quit lying. You manipulating. You gaslighting. Don't put that on me. I would just have to stop him every time and call it out. Because he is it's a basket case with it. It's bad. It is bad. And he has crafted his gift of deception. So it's not even healthy for people to go along with that type of stuff. But they do. So who name was on there? Now, it was interesting when I heard the guy who got the paperwork says Ivanka's name on there. She may have just been mentioned, but hell, she could have been groomed. Well, and you know, the funny thing about it, if truth gonna be told, tea sippers it was during his administration the first time, if memory serves me correctly, with Ivanka, when they changed the trafficking, human trafficking laws. Didn't I just show y'all that about 2 weeks ago, where Ivanka was talking about the laws that it had changed to include to fight the human trafficking? That was Ivanka. She held that press conference. That's when she was working for the office, the first go around. Do y'all remember that? So the changes under human trafficking and, was to fight that war that y'all didn't know he was a part of. Him and his best friend. I wonder, did she know that was an old lawsuit back in 94? Was it 94? With Katie Johnson. Because y'all do know what this is about, right? When I start talking about Maurene Comey. The real reason why she was fired. Immediately. Walk that ass out right now. Don't let her touch nothing. He said they's going in my background. That's why I made mention last night, y'all. I was so tired. I was so sleepy. Whew. I gotta do better. He was so hot. Hell, I'm sure that's really why them legs and feet and shit started swelling up. They found what? Because how in the world was that not brought up a long time ago? So suppressed information, just like it's on my some paperwork with Epstein, his special non-prosecution with the FBI. Some things are just, listen, y'all, some things are just not supposed to be exposed. Do y'all understand? And I heard, I need to find it. Dang it, I should have marked it. Where they talked about this right here. This right here would expose the world order, the new world order. It's just that big. The new world order that they've been talking about for years. That's the real reason they don't want that list to come out. Just like I just saw, where is it at? Who is mad at Trump because he was just made a deal with one of them people in El Salvador. He let him leave. Hold on. Now that I'm talking about New World Order. Hold on. Hold on. Some guy who was a part of a gang, MJC in Mad Dog 2020 or something. Hold on. hold on. That he got chastised because he secretly deported somebody. Hold on, let me see where it's at. Was it in my phone? To avoid backlash for letting this guy go free or go back to El Salvador without punishment. Hold on, now that I'm talking about it. Now that I'm here, y'all hit my like button. Now that I'm here, I've been trying not to talk about it, but somebody made mention of it yesterday that to reveal it all, to unleash the load, the truth, that it would also expose negotiation and foreign policies in countries in the, oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, here it go. Right here. Judge, says the judge chastised Trump, U.S. over secrecy. Let me put it over here. Because now it's asking for too much of my information. MS-13 leader. They dropped the charges. Hold on. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Do you know what I'm talking about? Hold on. Let me bring it over here. MS dash he was arrested during a traffic stop. Is that the same guy? Details of an MS-13 leader arrested in the Department of Justice say, hold on. Hold on.
You say you got to hold on. When Magnum started, that was
We're learning new details after the Justice.
Hold on, y'all. Hit my like button. Let's check this out. Change the background so we can see better.
Department says one of the top MS-13 gang leaders in the U.S. was arrested just days ago outside of Washington, D.C. Attorney General Pam Bondi saying the 24-year-old man from El Salvador was in the U.S. illegally and was taken into custody in Northern Virginia Thursday morning. Several federal and local agencies have been involved, from the FBI to ICE and the Prince William County law enforcement. The 24-year-old man from El Salvador, again in the country illegally, according to authorities. Victor Angry is a Prince William County supervisor representing the Dale City area, and the arrest did happen in his district. He joins us now to talk about it. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here today.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Well, first off, I want to start from the beginning here. When you start to get the information about the arrest in general and then it being in your district, what's going through your mind at that point?
Well, first of all, that the details of that always happen kind of after the fact. So, of course, it's a swarm of information that comes at you all at once to understand what just happened. So, what I can tell you is that the surveillance and the coordinated efforts of all the agencies involved in the task force went very well. So that part I'm very extremely happy with. Just learning the details of who the individual is, the status and the organizations they work with or alleged or members of, is always a lot to take in because I have to take that information and then get it back to the public to ensure that we are in a safe community and that we're doing all those things to ensure the safety of our citizens.
Can you tell me a little bit about the area where this arrest happened specifically? I know it's your district, so what can you tell me about it?
Well, I mean, it is 100% heavily a residential area. So Dale City really is one of the oldest communities in Prince William County. It is filled with many homes, many townhouses, many apartments. So it's very residential.
What have community members been saying to you about just all of this? I imagine that it has to be something that literally everyone is talking about in some form or fashion.
Yes. I mean, the number one statement is that, they didn't know they had such a high profile, alleged criminal in their community as their neighbor. The thing I share with that is the connection piece there is the fact that we have a community safety program that we have always had, but we've been improving over the last year or so. And events such as that event that took place really show that what we're doing is working and really cleaning up crime and really presenting public safety to all of our citizens.
Does it make you and the others in that community maybe feel safer knowing this person is off the streets, or are there potentially more concerns about who might be out there?
Yes, sir. Without a doubt, that answer is yes. It does make the community feel a lot safer, especially when you know that you have an alleged person of this caliber off the streets. Now, it's always going to put fear in others, but what we have to continue showing is that we're making those improvements to improve safety around this area, or to really hone in on it, and so to make sure that it is a safe area and a safe county, to tell you the truth.
People who are in that area who talk to you and maybe do say they're concerned, they have questions about who could be in the neighborhood where they live over in that Virginia community there that you represent, what would you say to them to maybe make them feel better, to feel safer out there?
And thank you, sir. I'm sorry. I will say what I always say to everyone, which is, and it's an old saying, if you see something, say something. Now, the issue there, because many people don't want to be involved when they know something is bad. So I will tell you, do what most people, and I say all the time, continue to reach out to my office. I don't report where I get it from. I become the one that reported. My last name is Angry, so I really push that forward to really get out there and anything someone calls me with, I report to, the folks that, work for me, the staff in the county, and we get after those issues. And that goes from everything, from even crime to really, street lights, traffic, trash. Anyway, I won't, digest from the conversation, but really reach out to my office, and we don't use names as we investigate whatever their concerns are.
When we look at this a little bit deeper, obviously the investigation itself is still underway. Do you specifically have any questions that you hope will be answered?
Well, I wish there was a way that we could know what type of high-profile individuals we have in the county. And I know that goes against surveillance, and you don't want to jeopardize whatever that search is. But, it does bring to my head that I want to know, who does live in the county, and what kind of crime do we really have that I or leadership particularly does not know about. And I understand why we don't when it comes to surveillance and gathering information and making sure that as they go about these arrests, that they've done everything by the book. We have laws we have to follow. So I understand that. But those are just things I I would like to know if I could, and I doubt I'll ever will. I'm really happy with the outcome of this particular situation here.
All right, Victor Angry, Prince William County Supervisor,
Victor Angry.
representing the Dale City area where the arrest
new.
did
We all
happen.
remember
Thank you
what
so much for
Democrats
taking
did
the time to be here with us.
Justice
Anything else you want to
Kavanaugh.
add before I let you go?
As I said during
Well,
Director
first of all, thank you
Patel's
again for having me. And I would just
nomination,
simply say,
quote,
Prince William County is
This
a
is
thriving,
becoming
beautiful county, and we welcome. We're the most diverse in the Commonwealth of Virginia, and so all of our people are treated with dignity and respect, and we just want to create safe and secure society communities for everyone. So,
All right, Victor, thanks again for taking the time to join us. We appreciate it.
thank you, sir.
Hold on.
All right.
Hold on. Y'all see that? He said he wish he would have known. Trump fires immigration court judge. What is this?
This brilliant device keeps your home cool in summer, even during heat waves and power outages. It's smaller than a lunchbox. Cool.
They're tough people. They're bad people. We don't want them in our country. We can't let a judge say that he wants, he didn't run for president. He didn't get much more than 80 million votes.
I'm gonna have to come back and watch that. I need to stay with what I'm on. It's over here, and I need to get this over here so y'all can see this. See it for yourself, baby. I ain't gonna be over here long. I just came for a little while. Hold on, hold on. I would have thought it would have came over here. Let me write it. Trump. He dropped charges. Yeah. But he's sending U.S. citizens to foreign countries. Yeah. Didn't El Salvador throw him up under the bus the other day? Yeah. Well, but with those prisoners over there that ain't really supposed to be over there. And they saying that he over there lying, saying he ain't got no control over it. And they say, yes, he do. All he have to do is give us the order. Hell, we don't know why they're here no way. Didn't that just happen? Just lying. I want the MSN. Security priorities. There we go. I just need for y'all to be on the right page. That what's going on right now don't have nothing to do with Diddy. Very little. Oh, I gotta slow it down. Cause it's not talking. You gotta read it for yourself. Y'all ready to read it for yourself? Let's see how I can slow it down. It's not allowing me to slow it down. Y'all ready? It's saying it's Trump admin moves quietly to drop charges against the MS-13 leaders, cities, other national security priorities. This is coming out of Latin time. Can y'all hit the like button for Auntie? I greatly appreciate it. I got to bring y'all the facts. You understand? So we would not continue to be misled because they playing in our face. They don't expect the folk to do no research, you understand? He's sending folk to El Salvador, right? And so he said they was trying to crack down on the MS-13 gang. This guy over here, he was caught in Virginia. Department of Justice say, right? So surely they ain't letting them go on the cool. T-sippers, are you with me? Y'all still here? Let me check before I start playing the truth. Are y'all still here? I know a lot of y'all are in the in the clouds. Y'all in the clouds. Hold on. Hold on. Y'all. I don't want to be playing it and y'all can't hear it. Y'all can't see it. Oh, I'm spinning. Let me double check. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Hold on. Where's it at? Oh, they're gonna lie. Hold on. There go Paul. Can y'all hear? Hit the pause, please. Okay, so maybe y'all can't hear. Shut it down. Yeah, he vowed to get this bad gang MS-13 out. And he's secretly dropping charges on them. And folk don't know nothing about it. I need for y'all to know this. All this secrecy stuff. I don't know if y'all still here. He's willing to drop charges. FRO. Trump to drop charges against Mara. I need to back that up. Hold on. Yeah. Let's start that. How mysterious. Hey. And T-sippers. Do y'all remember? Oh, what was it, about 4 months ago when I was still heavy on Memphis and the FBI came in. They was talking about the gangs and C.J. Davis was trying to, talked about the Memphis, AOB was the worst gang in Memphis and they was getting them all off the streets. And the FBI came in, set up camp for a little bit with the Department of Justice, and they was telling them that, was it Venezuela or was it El Salvador gang was coming and that it was notorious. And she kept saying that that gang is not an issue. They there, but they not. And then here he goes, supposed to be trying to get them out because of the violence, undocumented, and he is dropping charges. It says undocumented immigrants, and he is secretly dropping charges. The judge had to chastise. Do you understand? When I say he's an enemy, he is making deals with the same people that he claimed he want out. So you making deals, you letting them out free, but you sending U.S. citizens over to, what? Okay, let's go. Let's try this again. Promises tough actions against the violent gangs. Willing to drop charges. El Salvador president. Human trafficking, murder, plot to kill FBI agents. New York court. How y'all feel about that?
On the Kansas side, many drivers had to deal with similar issues. On the Kansas side, many drivers had to deal.
How y'all feel about that? Yes, ma'am. If you have on West Cap area, okay. Okay.
We only had 2 negative votes. I didn't invite those 2 guys to anything. We had a guy named Rand Paul Jr. He's known as Rand Paul Jr. in the House. He always votes no. We had somebody else. I did him a big favor, and I said, well, he's not going to, sir, I don't think so-and-so is going to vote. I won't mention his name. And I said, no, he's going to vote.
I'm finna get ready to get out of here. I'm trying to see what this saying about her. Maurene Comey, career federal prosecutor who worked on Jeffrey Epstein case and was abruptly fired by the Trump administration this week. Ghislaine Maxwell. Ms. Comey is the daughter of James Comey, the former FBI director and the adversary.
I look forward to you
Hold
joining
on,
us in our
of
next
Trump.
investor webinar.
I'm trying to cut that
Drill
off.
deeper into our 9 to 13% annual.
A developing story now.
Adversary of Trump. She prosecuted Ghislaine. She all over the place. So she was part of Ghislaine. Epstein and Diddy Combs. Hold on, y'all. But Diddy is not the primary. Losing his case, yeah, she didn't have a choice in that. She didn't have a choice. Hold on. MTG turns on Trump. Who is MTG? Hold on.
It is for Vladimir Putin and for Victor. Marjorie Taylor Greene is madder than a hornet. Play the clip.
What? 6 months in, Seed, and here we are, turning back on the campaign promises, and we bombed Iran on behalf of Israel. Yes, it was on behalf of Israel. We're entering a nuclear war, the World War III, because the entire world is going to erupt. And you want to know the people that are cheering it on right now? Their tune is going to drastically change the minute we start seeing flag-draped coffins on the nightly news, on Fox News that brainwashes all the baby boomers, and on CNN that brainwashes all the Democrat baby boomers. And that is exactly how this is going to go down.
Fox News is brainwashing all the baby boomers, and CNN is brainwashing all the Democrat baby boomers. She is madder than a hornet. And I saw she's constantly now going around having to tell everybody, I am not in a cult. And I think this is growth on her part, because the first stage of the grieving cycle is denial.
Right.
And so the fact that she's even acknowledging the cult accusations and denying it, she's entered the grieving cycle. We're at step one. And, you know, sometimes the griever bounces around, but I think they're slowly starting to realize
that
Donald Trump is full of shit. And listen, I mean, old habits die hard.
Oh, yeah.
And this is going to be, it's really hard for these people to quit Trump. I mean, there's just something about him that gets their juices flowing. But this is even more hilarious, Pumps. Here she is talking to a journalist on speakerphone, and she has somebody in her office recording the interview. Play the clip.
So, yeah, I think the question has been, there's been, you know, for a long time you've been Trump's, you know, most outspoken ally in Congress. It feels like over the past couple weeks, you've shown a willingness to break with him, and I'm wondering just what's behind that.
I have always been President Trump's most outspoken ally. I defended the president when people that are serving in his administration were donating to Democrats and even running against him for president. And nothing has changed now. I think that it's really important. I can't underscore that enough. I ran on the exact same platform that President Trump ran on. I got elected for the exact same policies and campaign promises that President Trump got elected on. There is no break. There is no split. There is no lack of support from me to President Trump. And so this would be a narrative or a lie that you're creating or someone's asking you to create. And I will not tolerate it one single bit.
Got it. Was there any, how did it come about? There was some reporting, I think, early on that they asked you not to run for Senate, or his political team asked you not to run for Senate. Is that any truth to that?
No, I was not asked to not run for Senate. And those were fake polls that were put up against me. And so I reject those polls. And my decision to not run for Senate, I explained in a very lengthy post that you can go read on my X account, that is my personal account, and that I also use for my campaign. And none of that anywhere in my explanation or my decision making had anything to do with what you just mentioned.
Got it.
And so I just want you to know how I am perceiving your interview here is more of an attack piece on me. And I don't know who is putting you up to it. And I don't know why you're writing it, but I think it's absolute bullshit. And I'm going to completely reject it. And I just want you to know, I'm warning you right now. You are going to be spreading lies about me. You're putting out a complete narrative about me that is not true. And I'm warning you not to do this.
The paranoia is real.
If you are sleeping in a position like this, you
They
are wrecking
paranoid
your
for
body and
real,
your
ain't
breathing.
they?
Obstructive
Oh
sleep
my
apnea
goodness.
Not to do this.
I was just wondering, back to Rand for a second. I'm just wondering, do you think things are going in the right direction for the White House on this decision? Do you think it's going to prove they're going to prove themselves having made the right decision or not?
I know President Trump very well. He does not want to be involved in forever foreign wars. He doesn't want boots on the ground. He doesn't want to.
Okay. All right. So I think this is just hilarious because
that's funny.
what she says, I don't know who's putting you up to this. I don't know where this is coming from. This is a common theme among MAGA. They cannot understand that somebody has their own autonomy, thought autonomy, and can come up with their own questions that were born out of critical thinking and curiosity and deduction skills. So it's always like, I notice if somebody doesn't like us in our comment section, it's, oh, they're getting paid by Soros. Right. Or who's putting you up to this? The DNC is putting them up to this, because it's such a tell when Republican politicians say something like that, because they cannot understand critical thinking. I mean, her whole thing is, I ran exactly the same way Donald Trump did. We ran on the exact same policies. And here she is, she's like, but we were in lockstep. I thought we were no wars. What the fuck? You went and bombed, Iran for Benjamin Netanyahu. And she feels very betrayed because they had the exact same talking points.
Well, they're both fueled by cruelty, hate, and wanting to dehumanize people that don't have the same color skin that they do. But her denying that after her interview with Steve Bannon, and then what she's putting on her Twitter/X account about how wrong it is, America first, all that, reminds me of when she gets on the internet and she spews QAnon theories, one right after the other. Then you ask her about it. She's like, I never said that. These people act like we are so stupid that we can't go back and actually see what they have previously said. They never say, I've changed my position, I've evolved. It's just an immediate, I never said that. You must be lying. Fake news, all that shit. Poor Marge. I think her little heart's broken.
All right. Then next up, we have Ted Cruz put this tweet out yesterday, and he is still the most unfuckable person, unlikable person. Even Tucker Carlson hates him. But he puts out this tweet, and it says, Clarence Thomas is a fearless, happy warrior. He is a patriot of the highest caliber, an intellectual giant, and one of America's fiercest defenders of the Constitution. Wishing him all the best on his 77th birthday. Clarence Thomas is the biggest dipshit, compromised, right-wing conspiracy theorist on the Supreme Court. It's literally like having a QAnon Supreme Court justice. That's what Clarence Thomas is. And he attaches this video of Clarence Thomas to that birthday tweet. Play the video.
You can be in the middle of a hurricane, or you can be on a calm day. North is still north. You could be in a thunderstorm. North is still north. People can yell at you. North is still north. It doesn't change fundamental things. And in this business, right is still right, even if you stand by yourself.
Okay, so I just want to point out that Ted Cruz likes to make the argument that Clarence Thomas is some intellectual giant. And then that's his statement that he attaches to it, which is neither intellectual nor that thought-provoking. But Clarence Thomas has been a huge participant in the erosion of civil liberties, the erosion of democracy, the erosion of rights for people that share the same color of skin that he does. Clarence Thomas is the ultimate token for rich, white, racist men. And the only purpose that he has served in the Supreme Court is to assuage the deep-seated racism and hatred that so many country club Republicans have towards Black people. That is the only role he has played. And Ted Cruz, to trot this out in the middle of all of this, just shows you how lost at sea he is after this Tucker Carlson issue. But before we go further, please support our show by supporting our sponsors. You guys, it's summer, it's so hot, and Pumps and I have been able to kind of revamp our wardrobe by using Quince. They have the best items. EWS.
Insurance companies don't want you to know this. Homeowners, if your insurance rates keep going up like mine.
From World War II, like he has a whole collection of it that he shows people when he brings them over to his house in Dallas. And he's the biggest funder of this Clarence Thomas.
Absolutely. And Clarence Thomas looks at the Constitution, and unless it's about guns or money, he tears it up and throws it away. He has absolutely no intention of enforcing the laws in the Constitution regarding due process, regarding citizenship. This man is an abomination. He is everything they told us in law school that was the worst of a jurist, and he is there, and it surprises me zero that Ted Cruz is such a big fan.
I agree. Okay, and then something's going on with Tucker Carlson still. He's really going through some things, and it's been really fascinating to watch. And here is Tucker very accurately describing Laura Loomer, and no one is as shocked as I. Please, baby.
Levin, again, doesn't care about the United States, and they're all wearing the Trump skin suit right now because they think it suits their purposes. These are people who hated Trump. They're anti-Trump. They're never Trump. And that would include a lot of people on Fox News who I worked with for 15 years. I know what their political views are. They're my colleagues. They hate Trump. They hate him personally. They hate his agenda. They hate his economic views. And they really hate his foreign policy views, which in private they describe as insane and isolationist. He's a Nazi and all this stuff. I mean, they really have contempt for him. They kept him off the air at Fox News while I was there against my protests. So that's all true, and it's very frustrating as a literal person who cares about what's true to see people jumping up Mark Levin or Laura Loomer, that's world's creepiest human. I don't even know where she came from or who she is exactly, but she's running around. I'm Donald Trump's, defender. It's bizarre. Champion, and I'm the arbiter of what it means to be for America. Someone who, again, has no interest in the United States, demonstrated no interest. So I think it's just important. It's not a matter of score settling, and I don't care what Mark Levin does in his private life. I don't care what his opinions are. And Laura Loomer, I'm not even really sure who she is. However, if people like that are able to take over a political movement whose stated goal is to serve the United States, first and foremost, America first, make America great again, if those people can take control of that political movement, first of all, it's an offense against reality and truth. But second, it's really dangerous for the country. I mean, they washed out of the Democratic Party, the same people, and now they're trying to take over the Republican Party. How about no? Unbroken track record of failure, unbroken track record of ideas that hurt the United States in measurable ways, impoverished the United States, put us in unpayable debt, killed a ton of people, destabilized the world, caused a refugee crisis in Europe, destroyed Europe. That's a lot of destruction for one group of people and one set of really bad ideas, the John Boltons, the Bill Kristols. Can they be allowed to?
So this is interesting. He's going after the neocons, which I can join him in going after the neocons and the destruction that the neoconservative movement, starting with Reagan and ending with George W. Bush, produced, and the debris field that it left in the country and on the global stage. But it's interesting that he is demeaning the epicenter of Trump support right now, and in a very tiptoe way, calling out the duplicity of the Laura Loomers, of the Mark Levin, and how they just jump into the Trump arena, and he said his words, put on Trump's skin, and then they can just advise the president. And the one thing he left out here is something that we talk about all the time, is that that's a really easy thing to do because Trump falls prey to superficial flattery. It's a very easy thing to do, and it's very dangerous. And Tucker's almost there, but he's too compromised by Vladimir Putin. Tucker is. But this is exactly what Vladimir Putin, if somebody who named Laura Loomer can do this, who nobody knows who she really even is, just because she goes hard in the paint on low T Twitter, and and everybody just thinks, oh well, boy, she's a ferocious defender of Trump. Then if she can do it, think about how simple it is for Vladimir Putin and for Viktor Orban and for Benjamin Netanyahu. And again, the lead that seems to be buried here is that you have a person who's behaving as a dictator, that's Benjamin Netanyahu. A person that is a dictator, that's Vladimir Putin. Another person that's behaving and almost a dictator, and that's Donald Trump. And so I always want to say that all of the people of all of these countries, at least the people I hang out with in the United States, fucking hate Donald Trump. The Jewish people that I know are mortified
Did she say
by
hard in the
Benjamin
paint?
Netanyahu. I don't really know that many Russians, but I would assume some are propagandized and some think Putin is a nut and were followers of Navalny, before Putin had him killed. But this is really an interesting thing that's happening in the MAGA.
Did she say hard in the paint? Girl, what you... Lord. Let's go. Let her talk. Let her talk her talk.
Person who's behaving as a dictator, that's Benjamin Netanyahu. A person that is a dictator, that's Vladimir. Going after the neocons, which I can join him in going after the neocons and the destruction that the neoconservative movement, starting with Reagan and ending with George W. Bush, produced, and the debris field that it left in the country and on the global stage. But it's interesting that he is demeaning the epicenter of Trump support right now, and in a very tiptoe way, calling out the duplicity of the Laura Loomers, of the Mark Levin, and how they just jump into the Trump arena, and he said his words, put on Trump's skin, and then they can just advise the president. And the one thing he left out here is something that we talk about all the time, is that that's a really easy thing to do because Trump falls prey to superficial flattery. It's a very easy thing to do, and it's very dangerous. And Tucker's almost there, but he's too compromised by Vladimir Putin. Tucker is. But this is exactly what Vladimir Putin, if somebody who named Laura Loomer can do this, who nobody knows who she really even is, just because she goes hard in the paint on low T Twitter, and and everybody just thinks, oh well, boy, she's a ferocious defender of Trump. Then if she can do it, think about how simple it is for Vladimir Putin and for Viktor Orban and for Benjamin Netanyahu. And again, the lead that seems to be buried here is that you have a person who's behaving as a dictator, that's Benjamin Netanyahu. A person that is a dictator, that's Vladimir Putin. Another person that's behaving and almost a dictator, and that's Donald Trump. And so I always want to say that all of the people of all of these countries, at least the people I hang out with in the United States, fucking hate Donald Trump. The Jewish people that I know are mortified by Benjamin Netanyahu. I don't really know that many Russians, but I would assume some are propagandized and some think Putin is a nut and were followers of Navalny, before Putin had him killed. But this is really an interesting thing that's happening in the MAGA movement, this unraveling 5 months in, that you're starting to see somebody right in the heart of it has millions and millions of subs starting to talk about how easy it is to manipulate Trump and the executive branch.
Well,
Right
and I
in
just
his
have to
face.
point out, Tucker Carlson is one of those people that hates Trump because we saw his text messages during the Dominion lawsuit. And the only thing I would say is we're all, who's Laura Loomer, da-da-da-da-da.
This
Fact of
one
the matter
calling
is, Laura
taco
Loomer
titties.
has been put on a psych hold twice by her father. And she has access to the president of the United States. So we can talk about what a nut she is and what a nut all these people that Trump surrounds himself with. But he's the president of the United States. He not only allows it, he goes after it because they tell him what he wants to hear. So like you said, when you have real strong men that have cunning and intellectual thought and can see past the nose on their face, which Trump cannot. He is a puppet. He is a puppet for a Laura Loomer type, and he is a puppet for dictators. And these MAGAs, they are just the absolute easiest. The only thing easier to manipulate than Donald Trump are Trump's followers.
It's going to be interesting to see if these people that have made millions of dollars piggybacking onto Trumpism, the Steve Bannons, the Tucker Carlsons, and they know what they're saying is bullshit. The Rupert Murdochs, they know it's all bullshit propaganda. They know that they're preying on
propaganda.
the
That's why I do not
evangelical,
allow it on my
hyper-religious,
platform.
magical thinking rubes. They know it. It's going to be interesting to see, because you're starting to see it a little bit, if they will start to build a resistance, because they don't survive. Their business model doesn't survive if this continues to go forward, because the oligarchs will take it, and Trump will take it, and whoever Trump's successor is will take it. And so the whole free market idea and all of that doesn't live in dictatorships or autocracies. So it's going to be interesting with, the points that you made, which I totally forgot about. Tucker Carlson's, everybody at Fox even hates him. And so it's going to be interesting if they because it seems like they're slowly starting, particularly Tucker and Steve Bannon even, they're slowly starting to remind the...
They're sick of it. They getting sick of it. Sick of it. So where do we go from here, y'all? Oh, I was going to show y'all. I'll show y'all another time where they playing in our face. I may go later. They over here talking about they burning. Hold on, let me turn around. For some reason it ain't moving. My phone getting hot. So they over here burning the mega hats. They of them, y'all. They being rebellious. They said we sick of it. We've had enough. I'll be back later, but until then, I got the volume down. Hold on. They are
Answers about the Epstein files.
They are adamant.
This is new and dangerous territory for Donald Trump. That's for the first time he appears unable to his own base. This morning, D.C. woke up to headlines like these. MAGA revolt. Trump discovers MAGA has no off switch. We start tonight with the scandal consuming the Trump White House as MAGA leaders, top Democrats, and nonpartisan journalists demand answers about the Epstein files. This is new and dangerous territory for Donald Trump. That's for the first time he appears unable to control his own base.
He's gonna have a breakdown.
This morning, D.C. woke up to headlines like these. MAGA revolt. Trump discovers MAGA has no off switch. Trump and MAGA are no longer the same thing. Images of MAGA supporters literally burning their red MAGA hats are going viral online. And all of this comes a day after Trump berated Republicans as, quote, stupid and foolish for wanting more information about the disgraced financier who
Democrats and nonpartisan journalists demand answers about the Epstein files. This is new and dangerous territory for Donald Trump. Thus, for the first time, he appears unable to control his own base.
He losing
This morning,
his base.
DC woke up to headlines like these. MAGA revolt. Trump discovers MAGA has no off switch. Trump and MAGA are no longer the same thing.
They want a divorce.
Images of MAGA supporters literally burning their red MAGA hats are going viral online. And all of this comes a day after Trump berated Republicans as, quote, stupid and foolish for wanting more information about the disgraced financier who died by suicide while in federal custody. Today, Trump's secretary was bombarded with Epstein questions at this press conference.
Does the president believe that justice has been served in the Epstein case?
Does he have a knowledge or an understanding of what is in the files related to Epstein that have not been released? Has the White House been directly in touch with some of the MAGA influencers that are still not satisfied?
The president said that he floated the idea of a special prosecutor in the Epstein case. Can you confirm that?
Do you know what the president's reaction was to Mike Johnson saying that he wants additional files released? Was there a conversation with Mike Johnson about that following his comments?
There's been a lot of discussion about the Epstein files, the president's comments yesterday calling it a hoax. Can you clarify which part of the Epstein hoax is the hoax part?
An absolute barrage of questions. With
Which
no
part was
relief
the
in sight.
hoax of the hoax?
Politico writes this, quote, Trump is like a magician who has locked himself in a straitjacket, only to find that he's lost his ability to maneuver out of it and finds his audience turning on him. Among those now speaking out are Trump's former vice
Straitjacket,
president,
all
Mike
right.
Pence, as well as top GOP senators and the MAGA broadcasters.
He in the straitjacket, y'all.
I think the time has come for the administration to release all of the files regarding Jeffrey Epstein's investigation and prosecution.
Maybe I'm just getting old and forgetting things, but I could have sworn that we had people campaigning, and if I get elected, we're going to release the files, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Release the damn files.
Let's go.
Get over it.
It's the administration and their handling of this, which is why everyone's talking about it. It didn't have to be handled this way. It's been abysmal.
I am trying to get
The MAGA broadcasters.
Broadcasters.
I think the time has come for the administration to release all of the files regarding Jeffrey Epstein's investigation and prosecution.
Maybe I'm just getting old and forgetting things, but I could have sworn that we had people campaigning, and if I
Tom
get elected,
Tillis.
we're going to release
Tills.
the files, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Release the damn files.
Let it go.
Get over it.
It's the administration and their handling of this, which is why everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
It didn't have to be handled this
Stop
way.
playing in our face.
It's been abysmal.
I am trying to get you to take the political gun out of your mouth. You already blown both your feet off. And now you got it shoved in your mouth. I'm like, will you please take that out of your mouth? You're like, shut up. Don't talk about it. You have put the gun in your mouth and ours collectively. Stop it.
Stop. They're not going nowhere, y'all. He in
In a
trouble.
rare display of bipartisanship, top Democrats have also gotten in on the act, hammering Trump on the Epstein question.
For years, Donald Trump and the MAGA movement have railed on about the Epstein files, but now a complete reversal. Trump is straight up gaslighting the American public.
The president to run on a campaign with a promise to
He said what
expose the
campaign?
Epstein files. Now he and the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, say, nope, nothing to investigate. When it comes to Epstein and sex trafficking, all these claims are just ludicrous.
Amid these calls for greater transparency, there's also new scrutiny on an unexplained move from the Trump DOJ. Maurene Comey, the daughter of former FBI Director James Comey, was until recently a longtime federal prosecutor who worked on a number of high-profile cases, including the prosecution of Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's associate.
The ones
This week,
who
Trump's
got
DOJ
Trump on
fired
all their
critics
lists.
say it
Let's
appears
be
to
clear. Let's be clear. Let's be clear. Can I be clear? Not clear. Clear. Every one of the high profiles that Comey has prosecuted whether she won, lost, or made a deal, or whatever, however you want to put it. Let's be clear. Let's be the clearest. Let me back this thing up. Let's be the clearest. Every last one of them. And when I say that, I'm saying as far down as Epstein, Maxwell, and Puffy, P. Diddy. All of them got Trump's name on a list who have partaken in their illegal trafficking. Can I say that one more time for the one time? For the people in the back who can't hear good. He been to Diddy stuff. He been Predator's Island. And he's interacted with Jelane. Because she was recruiting and grooming from Mar-a-Lago. Okay. He's sick. He's sick than a dog. Yeah. It's a whole bunch of people in the Trump family, the immigrant family, that he's trying to protect. But let's go.
Federal prosecutor who worked on a number of high-profile cases, including the prosecution of Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's associate. This week, Trump's DOJ fired her. Critics say it appears to be an effort to intimidate perceived enemies. Today, in a farewell email to her colleagues, Comey said that the DOJ letter informing her of her termination provided no reason for her discharge. In the email, which MSNBC has obtained, Comey issued a sharp warning to her colleagues in the Southern District of New York, saying, quote, "If a career prosecutor can be fired without reason, fear may seep into the decisions of those who remain. Do not let that happen. Fear is the tool of a tyrant wielded to suppress independent thought."
Fear.
Now, I'm looking for people with faces full of wrinkles.
They are
and blemish
afraid
of the skin.
of what's coming.
Look at how pronounced these wrinkles are.
To suppress
Hold on.
independence.
I dig that because I tried to tell folk yesterday that Miami is coming. Miami is coming. That trafficking, human trafficking, child trafficking is coming. And with Epstein, some of the people, especially that girl that with Victoria that mysteriously unalived herself, so they say, was picked up and groomed as a minor from where? Mar-a-Lago. Yeah.
Thought. Instead of fear, let this moment fuel the fire that already burns at the heart of this place. A fire of righteous indignation at abuses of power, of commitment to seek justice for victims, of dedication to truth above all else. And that is where we start tonight. Donald Trump under fire from the MAGA base amid broader warnings about a presidential power grab. Joining me now is Barrett Berger, a former federal prosecutor from the Southern District of New York, and Aisha Mills, political strategist and former resident fellow at Harvard's Kennedy School of Politics. Aisha, you saw Donald Trump's press secretary faced with a barrage of questions over the Epstein files. Why can't Donald Trump figure out how to defuse this bomb?
Because Donald Trump doesn't want to. I mean, here's the thing. I just want to
can't
acknowledge
expose
for everybody
himself.
who's watching this that we have literally been on like a week and a half distraction from what's really going on in America right now. Donald Trump is gutting the government. They literally
Absolutely.
just rescinded $9 billion in foreign aid. They're trying to shut down public broadcasting. They're taking Medicare from people, Medicaid from people. And here's where we are, is we're talking about this. We know that Donald Trump doesn't actually care about the victims, about those poor girls who are human trafficked. I think right now we need to be focusing on actually the victims of this and trying to get justice for them.
I
And
don't
that's not
disagree.
something that Donald Trump is ever going to talk about.
I don't disagree, but he is losing his base over this. Like, there are folks in the MAGA faithful who are angry and they are baying for blood. Barrett, do you think the DOJ actually has more information than they're letting on here, and that there's something to these calls for transparency?
Well, I'm sure the DOJ has, thousands and thousands of pages of information that they produced in discovery. But the problem
need
is
10 likes,
not
y'all. Come
all
on, please.
information is sufficient to be released to the public. Here you're going to have hours and hours of child pornography that was captured on these recordings. You're going to have information that identifies victim, that gives personal stuff about them. You're going to have information that was gained through judicial process, like a grand jury, that simply cannot be disclosed according to law.
They're not gonna give
So I
out
think
that.
The big problem we have here is one of an explanation. Explaining exactly why certain things can't be released, what the basis is.
They lie too much
It
for
may
that.
not satisfy people who've really had their hearts set on getting their hands on this, but just because they can't see it doesn't mean they should.
Well, that's a great question, Aisha. So there's a lot of information here for lots of different reasons. Much of it likely cannot be released, but we are seeing people online burning their MAGA hats. And these are people who are deeply with the president. It seems like they would be receptive to an explanation, any explanation from this man whom they revere. Why won't this just go away? Why can't they give the explanation?
Well, listen, I think that Donald Trump, we all know, actually, let me not, say, I think Donald Trump is guilty of a variety of things and hasn't been held accountable for them, period. What his base does and our distraction with that is literally that. What I'm interested in, be it Republican or be it Democrat, is why isn't anybody talking about the fact that if they were so riled up about this Epstein case and getting justice for these victims, why is Donald Trump defunding, literally just completely dismantled the Violence Against Women Act? And completely defunded all support for people who have been trafficked, for human trafficking. There's so much that could actually happen that would be with regards to policy that would actually support and protect people that we could be talking about. And right now it just feels more like a political stuff. Defunded all support for people who have been trafficked, for human trafficking. There's so much that could actually happen that would be with regards to policy that would actually support and protect people that we could be talking about. And right now it just feels more like a political circus that I don't think is going anywhere.
So, Barrett, this is a political circus, and it actually doesn't feel like Donald Trump is necessarily in the middle of it. The one person who does seem to be getting the brunt of all of this is Attorney General Pamela Jo Bondi. How much trouble is she in from this base that's calling for her ouster?
Seemingly a lot. It seems like she still has the support of the president, but as we know, you have the support of the president until you don't.
Right.
Right. It's just like the fact that anyone who actually cares about protecting victims and standing up for them and doing something about sex trafficking, the person who cared the most about doing that was the person they just fired. Maurene Comey, more than anyone else, was somebody who not only, talked the talk of wanting to protect victims, but spent the last decade doing the hard work to do that. Not just in the Epstein
She got
case,
too close,
as we
though,
just
baby.
saw over the last 2 months in the Combs case. This is somebody who's dedicated.
This is the P. Diddy trial.
Correct. Yeah. So this is somebody who has just dedicated her career to standing up for victims, to doing the work that people are talking about.
Miami was
And the
coming.
fact that they've fired her while also saying we care about this is just wildly inconsistent.
And keep in mind that this president has spent most of his life trying to avoid accountability for the things that he's done against women. So here we are.
Well, let's go to Maurene Comey. Barrett, what do you make of this? This seems to be a very unusual step, an unorthodox step, to fire a career prosecutor who has never had any complaints about her performance, but she also happens to be the daughter of someone who has, even in the last couple of months, been the target of a lot of ribbing from the Trump loyalists. What's actually going on here?
On one hand, it seems very consistent with the pattern that we've seen. We've seen plenty of not only DOJ folks being fired, but across the government, we've seen sort of these whites. This one's different because it is so individually targeted to her.
Very much so.
Really no connection to her actual work as a prosecutor, at least what we know so far. It seems like from her resignation email, this was totally unexpected from her, and the letter gives no explanation other than, citing to Article 2, which is just, the executive's, authority to do so, but really gives no
Both
analysis
parties
or
would be
rationale for
eligible.
this.
We don't
This is
care.
really-
Okay, hold on.
It feels just
Who said that? Hold on, Mary. Let's be clear. and I no disrespect to you. When I say this, it won't let me turn it around. I'm trying to turn it around so you can see me. Oh, there you go. Mary, let's be clear. I don't care about the parties. See, this is where we get it twisted. We think that there's a divide. You know, everything is a divide about the parties, Republican and Democrats. No, ma'am. You got it twisted. This is about the people. This is about the victims. This is about the violator and the violated. You understand? I don't give two rats' ass about the parties will be ultimately destroyed if the public give. Girl, ooh. I don't care shit about them parties. Now, them kids. And that's why you should be concerned. This is what pisses me off about females with this. You more concerned about the parties being exposed. I don't care. I don't give a shit about the parties. You are concerned about the parties. You understand? Are we clear now? You are wrapped up in the parties. I have integrity. See? I have empathy. See? And I will not. I don't give a rat's ass. Hear me respectfully. About no predator. Regardless of what you say, what party he with. He or she is with. A party is not my primary. The violated kids and adults who were trafficked is. You understand? We understand? So you won't have to make that mistake again, and I won't have to stop what we listening to address you. Because you out of line, you out of order. Your priorities are out of place. This is not about a party. Now, it's ironic that right now the parties are coming together against this Epstein's list, but giving it access. I don't care who it exposed. Expose them all. If they predators. You understand? Do you understand? Yeah. I'm saying about a party. It's about predators. Let's be clear. As we were.
So personal, and I said before, it just, to me, strikes me more because of her last name than anything that she has ever done as a prosecutor.
As a former prosecutor yourself, what do you make of her farewell email to her colleagues at the Southern District of New York?
It was a wonderful email. It was, very righteous, talked a lot about what everyone, not just in the Southern District, but I think throughout
everyone.
This was totally unexpected from her, and the letter gives no explanation other than, citing to Article 2, which is just, the executive's, I guess, authority to do so, but really gives no analysis or rationale for this. Right. This is really, it feels just so personal. And I said before, it just, to me, strikes me more because of her last name than anything that she has ever done as a prosecutor.
As a former prosecutor yourself, what do you make of her farewell email to her colleagues at the Southern District of New York?
It was a wonderful email. It was, very righteous, talked a lot about what everyone, not just in the Southern District, but I think throughout U.S. attorneys' offices in the country, what we sort of embodied, which was this idea of prosecuting cases without fear or favor.
And the Southern District, that has been its credo for a long time, the sovereign district of New York.
It really gives no analysis or rationale for this. Right. Across the government, we've seen sort of these wide sets. This one's different because it is so individually targeted to her with really no connection to her actual work as a prosecutor, at least what we know so far. I mean, it seems like from her resignation email, this was totally unexpected from her, and the letter gives no...
She was terminated because Miami was coming. There was more prosecutors. I don't care nothing about a CIA plant, Mary. Now you just talking. You just talking. You done went from one extreme to another. Now you just talking. You don't. Somebody sent you over here to be a deflection. I don't care nothing about her being a CIA plant. What about the predators? See, talk to me about the predators. If you say anything else, Mary, talk about the predators, not about the CIA, not about none of that. Talk about the predators, okay? Talk about the predators. If you can't talk about the predators, Mary, shh, be quiet. So I don't have to remove you. That's all we need. We talking about is the predators. Stop making excuses and moving the goalposts, gaslighting, and all that type of stuff. Okay? Okay, bye, Mary. Come back another day. Bye. You're making excuses for predators.
Explanation other than, citing to Article 2, which is just, the executive's, I guess, authority to do so, but really gives no analysis or rationale
But hit
for
the
this.
like button on your way
this
out.
Is really, it feels just so personal. And as I said before, it just, to me, strikes me more because of her last name than anything that she has ever done.
Yeah, the fear.
As a
Yeah, they
former
know it's
prosecutor
coming.
yourself, what do you make of her farewell email to her colleagues at the Southern District of New York?
Yeah, you worried about the CIA and everybody else. You worried about all them letters, but you ain't said nothing about the kids who was trafficked, who was taken advantage of. Something wrong with you, Mary. Are you a part of the traffic? Are you a traffic? Are you a madam? I mean, are you are you a scout or something? What you? What's your position in all of this? Cause you sure working hard. She worked hard for the traffickers. So hard for the traffickers. Yeah, she works hard. Predators.
It was a wonderful email. It was,
working
very
hard.
righteous. Talked a lot about what everyone, not just in the Southern District, but I think throughout U.S. attorneys' offices in the country, what we sort of embodied, which was this idea of prosecuting cases without fear or favor.
And the Southern District, that has been its credo for a long time, the sovereign district of New York.
And you need that ethos because what you're doing is prosecuting people regardless of their political party. The Southern District of New York has brought cases against Republicans as often as it's brought cases against Democrats.
So it's not about the party. Thank you. Thank you. It's not about the party. It's not about the party. Y'all, I need 4 likes. Can you give me 4 likes, please? And I'll continue. It's not about the party. So stop making excuses about the party. It's about prosecuting the predators. And let the chips fall where they may. Because in Florida, not only is that where the celebrities were taken advantage of, that's where they talking about the CHILD trafficking. Yeah.
Live up to this credo, and the fact that she cites that and really seems to be saying this is now in jeopardy is pretty striking.
Okay, yeah. Oh, hold on. What else did I see? I thought that there was some more to that. Did he come back? He went on leave and ain't came back, have he?
Caitlin, I mean, this is fascinating. This has been going on now. Is it clear where Deputy FBI Director Dan Bongino, his career is headed tonight?
No, it's not clear. Even to White House officials, Anderson, who were texting each other
He
and
said,
texting me this
peace
morning, asking
in her grease,
whether or not
baby.
they had figured out if he had shown up to work today.
Trump and his administration continue to deal with the MAGA fallout after they refused to release the Epstein files. but that fallout has infiltrated the administration itself. The FBI's deputy director and former right-wing commentator Dan Bongino has been publicly distraught over the betrayal of this administration, threatening even to leave his position with the FBI over it. And as you just heard in that clip, there was so much confusion as to what his status was that White House officials were so desperate that they were texting CNN host Caitlin Collins about his whereabouts. And since then, he has been accounted for.
And of course, he did eventually show up, we are told. He had spent the weekend in Florida after not going there on Friday. But when it comes to what you just mentioned there about the relationship
protect your peace,
with
Dan.
the White House, he is staying in the job for right now. He is still the deputy director of the FBI right now, and he hasn't resigned or been fired. But the relationship has deteriorated so much that there are officials inside the White House who have not spoken to Dan Bongino in days, even though, of course, the question of whether or not he was still going to be employed by the federal government was still a big one for officials over the weekend. And I was told the president was very angry with Dan Bongino.
So
we angry at him too.
Our deputy FBI director has been found, but the fact that Caitlin Collins was getting texts from the White House about all of this is just an indication of the general dysfunction that this administration is currently experiencing. Of course, you know, dysfunction is inevitable whenever you put YouTubers and Fox News hosts in various very high-ranking positions in our government. But Collins mentioned that Trump was very upset with Bongino. Bongino really at one time believed that Trump was all about transparency. He believed that the administration, of which he is now a part, would usher...
Bongino believed the hype. He believed the hype. He believed in Trump. Y'all kill me. How can y'all believe in a career criminal? How? This is what happens when y'all bend the rules for a criminal. He got 33 convictions, felonies. He ain't supposed to have no job. Ain't that the rules? So you believed it. So you mad. Your feelings hurt. Your feelings hurt. You believed it. You fell for the banana in the tailpipe. So now you know how them women felt. Imagine how them kids felt. He preyed on you too. It's just a different type of prey. I tried to get y'all to understand that even with the Diddy case, because he's a pimp, it's just a different type of pimp. He played in your face. He conned y'all. He conned everybody, but he dang sure conned the ones who believed his lies. That's what narcissists do. They paint a picture. It's counterfeit, baby. It's a counterfeit. It's beautiful. Oh, it is beautiful. It's perfect. But see, the problem with that for me is he don't even talk perfect. He don't even talk clever enough for me to follow. Because hell, half the shit he say don't connect. But like, what you say? No, that don't make sense. It's, and at some point what he say start talking, sounding like jibber jabber, what? So what you do is you start filling in what don't make sense with your way of thinking, and you make it make sense because what he said didn't. You understand? What he said don't make sense because he don't have it all here. He is not the smartest. So when people stop making excuses for people and stop going ahead pre-thinking for them and filling in that shit with logic, your logic, you won't be disappointed. See, you would have resigned. And then in your mind, you would have said, I beat you. I was 10 steps ahead. So that's why he disappointed. Sir, if I was you, because the betrayal has already showed its head, you cannot unfeel betrayal. Listen to Auntie Fee now, baby. Listen to me. You cannot unsee the betrayal, nor can you unfeel the betrayal. Because everything that you know you saw and everything that you know you feel is real. So what you gonna do? You gonna stay in there anyway? Because then you will be betraying yourself. You gonna catch that. Somebody gonna catch that. Somebody gonna catch that some days later. Did you catch that? Did you catch it? Because at the point that you see it, hear it, feel it, you know it is what it is, and you continue to partake with the people who betrayed you, you have now just begun betraying yourself. So who you gonna be mad at? So stop now. Don't go now a step further with that foolishness. Because one of the hardest things to get over is betrayal. Trust me. Let's keep listening. Don't betray yourself. Because that's what Auntie Fee gonna say about you if you keep moving forward. Give him the middle. And I do mean middle finger. Throw him the deuces. Leave with your integrity. Because if he betray you once, let me say this. If your team betray you once, they will betray you again. And right now, everybody should be on alert because he needs somebody to blame. He is an extreme narcissist. They hate being exposed. They hate being exposed. So he will sacrifice all y'all. Ain't nobody special. Nobody's special. Nobody's off limits. He does not. It's either him or y'all. And do you think he gonna expose, let himself be exposed? He gonna find the weakest link. He gonna create. You already know he's creative. He'll create a story, believe it, and push the fake propaganda out there, and somebody gonna grab it. So you should just laugh. Okay. I done said my piece about it.
In truth to the American people. So the withholding of the Epstein files was a breaking point, not just for Bongino, but for a lot of Trump supporters. And Trump is mad at all of them for being disappointed in him. And if that isn't some weird, like, narcissistic parent type relationship, then I don't know what is. Trump wrote a lengthy post on Truth Social addressing the MAGA response to the Epstein files, and this is after having several negative run-ins with the press in which he essentially scolded his supporters and journalists for asking or even caring about Jeffrey Epstein. So part of the post said this: "Their new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax, and my past supporters have bought into this bull hook, line, and sinker. They haven't learned their lesson and probably never will, even after being conned by the lunatic left for 8 long years. I have had more success in 6 months than perhaps any president in our country's history, and all these people want to talk about, with strong prodding by the fake news and the success-starved Dems, is the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. Let these weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success, because I don't want their support anymore.
For anyone who needs to restore their vision, the simple
He
change
don't
to
need
breakfast
y'all no
can make
more.
all the difference.
Y'all better jump ship.
Of our incredible and unprecedented success, because I don't want their support anymore. So he called his own supporters weaklings and said he doesn't want their support anymore. And technically, I guess he doesn't need their support anymore. He's not running for re-election ever again. He doesn't need their votes. He even told them during the last election cycle that he didn't need their votes. But now he doesn't like them anymore and he wants them to know about it. It feels like when you know someone's about to break up with you, so you just do it first to get ahead of things. But his efforts to pin all of this on the radical left are funny, though they are typical. It's always the radical left's fault, whatever it is. Unfortunately for him, this was one issue that sort of aligned the left and the right, at least in the sense that we would all like to see the Epstein files. Maybe we have different expectations as to what will be in them. The left, for example, is not nearly as shocked that Trump and Republicans have chosen not to release the files as the right is. Honestly, it was more shocking that the release of these files was on the table to begin with. But he and Republicans baited MAGA with the possibility of releasing these files and then just left them hanging. And we can't really be surprised that Trump is surprised by the MAGA response to all of this. He is having an uncharacteristically hard time placating his base right now. They usually just take whatever he says and move on. They usually do as they're told. They rarely argue with any decision that Trump has made. On the contrary, they usually go out of their way to defend him and his decisions. And we are seeing a degree of that for sure, but the talking points from right-wing Trump protectionists aren't quite sticking like they used to. Not this time. MAGA has always confounded those of us on the outside of that particular echo chamber. And I'm not suggesting that we're not all in some degree of an echo chamber ourselves. Our lives and even our thoughts, sometimes it feels as like they're being dictated to us via an algorithm these days. But MAGA and the MAGA movement felt like the first time, at least in a long time, that a cult-like group gained significant political and social control here in this country. Usually, movements like this one would have died before they ever had a chance to take widespread hold. But due to a combination of factors, I imagine, MAGA was different. And if you have an unshakable belief, right, a belief that you have accepted in your heart, mind, and soul as unquestionable truth, then that belief becomes the framework upon which you understand everything else. The belief is the part, again, that you do not question. It is your static control variable. But when that existing framework is faulty, then everything that comes from it will be similarly faulty. And that's how you end up with these conspiratorial ways of thinking, because Occam's razor no longer applies. It no longer can apply. And if you've got an unshakable truth that is false, then truth cannot come from that false belief. For example, that is why most devout Christians don't believe in dinosaurs. They don't think that they're real, and it's why they think that scientists are just fabricating and planting fake dinosaur bones all over the country just to perpetuate their dinosaur myth. And they believe that insane scenario because it's easier for them to believe all of that all of paleontology is a psyop, than it is for them to even consider the possibility that the planet is more than 6,000 years old. To even consider that possibility would mean questioning everything else they believe in relation to the Bible, and then their understanding of God and all of life. An arguably less extreme example, is how the absolutely most devout members of Trump's MAGA base can just believe, despite literally seeing evidence of Trump at parties with Epstein, despite hearing him himself speak inappropriately about women and what he likes to do to them and where he likes to grab them. Despite the way he's spoken about his own daughter, despite all of the women over the years, even before he was a politician, who have made horrific accusations against him, despite the crimes that he's actually been convicted of committing, they can more easily believe that it's all just a witch hunt against Donald Trump. He is actually the man on the inside. Had it been Bill Clinton in those pictures with Epstein, well, of course Bill Clinton was there, they would think, because he is a documented perv. But Trump, oh no, he is just trying to shut it all down from the inside. He's basically James Bond, right? All of the documented evidence that Trump is also a perv is just people trying to take him down. But they have to believe that, because even considering that Trump is not the guy they think he is, it would mean that they would have to question things that they are incapable, I wouldn't even say unwilling at this point. They would have to question things that they are no longer capable of questioning. To question Trump's integrity would mean questioning their identities and allegiances for at least the past 10 years. It would mean that they would lose their savior, which would introduce feelings of loss and fear and helplessness that I can't blame them for this, but I feel like they wouldn't be able to cope with that. It would call into question so many other things they denied or explained away over the years. The worst of MAGA, and by worst, I don't mean that they're necessarily bad people. Like, I don't think they're trying to be bad people. I just mean the most indoctrinated, the most committed, the most fervent. They are, at this point, incapable of going down that path. And all that to say, the fact that so many, not all, but a lot in the MAGA camp are now breaking with Trump over these Epstein files. This is wild. When reports started coming out saying that this was going to break MAGA, they were not joking. The question now is whether or not this break can and will be bridged and overcome, or if the schism will prove to be insurmountable for Trump and MAGA. All right, that's it for me. If you got anything out of this,
Okay, yeah, I'll be back later. Okay. Okay. Okay, good people. Any questions in the comments? Any questions? Y'all have anything for me before I go? That was some good tea. That was some good tea. That's some good tea. If y'all didn't hit the like button coming in, can you please hit it on the way out? Please like, share, subscribe, join the members. I don't have membership over here yet. Okay? Yeah, that's good tea. This ain't going nowhere, y'all. This ain't going nowhere. A lot of people were violated. A lot of kids. It's still a whole CHILD trafficking, organized crime going on. And yes, I've been saying it even before Diddy's trial. I kept saying, where's Florida? Where's Miami? Why was Miami not mentioned? It was coming around the mountain. It was coming around the mountain. It was coming around the mountain. And they said, oh, shit. And sure, I mean, I'm lying and I'm putting my foot in my mouth and I'm bringing up folk and I'm saying it ain't real. She's saying, well, then let me out. I will give them the list. I'll tell them everything. Now, she's saying to herself, now, I know you. You gave me access to Mar-a-Lago. You threw me under the bus because, see, you was president at that time. So you sold us out. And now everybody remembering that you dirty. And again, Katie Johnson, that lawsuit got your name on it and Epstein. Yeah. Y'all were both serial predators. You're a serial predator, Mr. President. Because y'all rich. So you can just do what you want to. Who wants to be a serial predator? It was your best friend for 15 years. That's cold-blooded, baby. Whoever dropped that, whoever lifted that information that had been sealed, see, that's why you pissed. Because somebody had that information and leaked it. The powers to be couldn't protect you from that. See. Just like the powers to be. Because T-sippers, y'all guess y'all move over to this. T-sippers. I kept saying, even with Diddy, I think that there is a battery out there because somebody dropped that. I just didn't catch it. I caught it. I didn't send it to myself. He has a misdemeanor domestic battery charge that he pled guilty to. So when they run their check, some other stuff on him gonna pop up. That's gonna bump up that time served shit. Because she said if they catch it, and if, then that's gonna put like 5 more points on him. Now, of course, I don't know what that means because I'm not a career criminal. But she damn sure said it. She said he pled guilty to a battery charge out in California. So I said all that to say, shit is popping up. And it's leaking. I was waiting to see that leak before I was... He done been charged. He done been charged criminally with Epstein, with the predator. How dare you? Did the party know that? Well, at least we could say he wasn't a convicted felon at that time. But hell, he was already a known predator. What the hell is wrong with y'all? Who overlooked that? Who? Oh, y'all overlooked it because y'all done took a cookie or two before. Oh, that's no big thing to y'all. They had $100 grand a year membership. $100 grand a year membership at this resort. That's a whole demonic hotel being built. It was being built. It was an investment. Ponzi. So when you hear them saying she would recruit and she would groom them and then they send them out. R. Kelly was like that too. Send them out to recruit, to bring in some more. Ain't that what a Ponzi? Ain't that what they do? You bring in some more, you bring in. Diddy did it too. It just really ain't came out. But his sons were recruiters. Now we found out that Biggie Small, CJ, was recruiting. You know, everybody had their own little spin on how they do what they do. You understand? But they said, oh, girl would have them bring in, you bring in some new ones. Yeah. And they stack it up. On the private island. Okay, y'all, I'll be back. Probably, what time is it? I was tired. I may be over there a little bit on the other side, okay? All right, peace and hair grease, baby. Peace. In hair grease. Hold on, rebel. Before I go on this side, come on. Deep panic. Oh, yeah, he in trouble, y'all. He in trouble. He in trouble. And he's saying, up them. He ain't newly being diagnosed with that. And he got congestive heart failure. And that's what he don't want nobody to know, why he was talking all that noise about Biden being sick. Hell, you sick too. You sick too. Former Georgia Lieutenant Governor says the GOP he grew up with ain't coming back. Joe ain't. It's hard out now. Y'all ain't figured that out yet. that Republican shit with Trump, it's hard out. It's gutter shit now. Y'all know I ain't no good, right? TV done called it gutter shit. Oh yeah, it's gutter shit. It's the scums. It's the bottom. It's the bottom. Hell, where he over there making deals and shit with El Salvador. He got us thinking that was what he was trying to get. What is it? MS-13 out. Hell, he done caught him and let him go. Drop the charges on him. I wonder, does Virginia know that he done dropped the charges on, oh boy, they think he's still in jail. He done snuck his ass out and let him go. He done made a deal with the president of El Salvador. He making deals against the American people all day, every day. And y'all can't see it. Y'all better wake up. Peace, y'all.